Alright. What's up, everyone? Episode 2, dropping on JS Mentality. So, look, if I look back even just, I don't know when I uploaded episode 1, but I think it was about 2 months ago, and just kind of sitting here right now thinking back to who I was, even in that such a short period of time, but like who I was back then, the reason why I was making that video, the whole vision I had for this channel, and what kind of purpose it was going to serve for me in terms of just being another creative outlet, just whatever it was. I know that it was honestly coming from a bit more of a just needing to know who I was, just needing to know that I had the ability to be proficient in something outside of the game of basketball. So yeah, I've been away. I haven't been thinking about making content, making videos, articulating my experience. Obviously, I've been doing my own little personal reflective things. Like I still journal, and I still, I still write. I still do things. It's definitely not being as structured, or it hasn't really been funneled towards anything or for the purpose of building something. And I think I just want to get back into that. So yeah, episode 2, I just kind of wanted to talk about knowing versus doing. I think that'll be the title for the video. But yeah, just a quick update. I really don't know how I want to treat this channel. Like at the moment, I think for the first, I can't speak about how this is going to develop, how it's going to evolve. But for right now, I almost want to treat it as like a bit of a video journal for myself. Something that has kind of like been just a reoccurring thought in my head is make content for your younger self. And that's something I've spoken about with my close friends and people that I've shared this kind of little hobby that I have, that I'm trying to have right here, making videos, sitting in front of a camera, getting comfortable talking in front of a camera, speaking slower, being more concise with my words, developing a skill, basically the skill of being able to articulate myself. So something I'm asking myself a lot is why do I want to do this? And I have a whole bunch of dot points as to why I want to do this. But honestly, it comes down to, this is a chance for me to reflect, and it's a chance for me to advise and adjust and share my own personal philosophy through the filter of my own experience. Right now, my experience is, in this past month, I've moved my life to Tokyo, Japan. I'm settling into the routine of a professional basketball player, and I'm learning so much about myself every day. So I will offer myself a little bit of like lenience when it comes to, like, I know when I released this first video on the channel, I really was like, I wanted to be posting on like a consistent schedule, and life just got so hectic after I did that first video. And not only did life get hectic, I began searching for excuses, because I had finally done the thing. Episode 1 was titled Do the Thing, and I had finally done it. So I felt a bit of relief and achievement in just that one episode with 50 views, and I let the foot off the gas because at the time I felt like it was important for me to focus on other things. And when I say that, like, I want to be careful with the language I use, always careful with the language that I use, because I can already observe and see the excuses I'm making for myself. Like, this is important for me because I really want to be able to know myself away from the game of basketball, and I really want to continue developing and expanding my definition of James, of James Spencer. Like, what does that mean? Who is that? You know, is he more than just what I see on his Instagram page? So that's very important for me. So yeah, that's just on my first point. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 points. But yeah, first point, 7 minutes in. Anyways, I'm still getting used to this. So diversity and identity. Again, I'll go back to the whole reason why I created this YouTube channel, and it was because I had felt unfulfilled for quite a bit of time through basketball. I had realized that, wow, just being a basketballer it's not gonna do it for me. Like, I have to search for and discover something deeper and more meaningful about myself, and something that has fulfilled that in the past couple of years as I've kind of gone through my own little identity evolution. Yeah, I found it really, I've had some really rewarding and I've had some really rewarding and stimulating conversations with people when I'm talking about, you know, things like this. Just like things on a deeper layer. Life on a deeper layer. Not just like, who are you, what do you do, but why do you do them? And have you really ever actually questioned why you do them? Whatever environments that molded you, it's essentially getting to the root of why do I do things? Why am I doing things? Why am I living my life? I feel like having conversations structured around that, just stemming off of that, that's stuff that really kind of just connects with me on a profound level. So yeah. To close off on diversity in identity, I think it's important that we know ourselves to wear more than one hat or mask, or to play more than one role in this human experience. The way I arrived at this realization was that at 23 years old, I had been wearing a mask this whole time, and that was the one of the accomplished athlete in the family, or the accomplished athlete in the friend group. And when I had finally arrived to a point in my life where I felt like I wasn't fulfilling that identity anymore, because I was going through a period of time where I had to step away from the game to get my physical and mental health right, I was kind of left with the realization that, like, yo, who am I? Who am I outside of, you know, the game? And yeah, that's crazy. Yeah. So to kind of realize that this was just one persona, or like one part of me that I was so heavily attached to, and I really thought to be all that I am, and to kind of just like really zoom out and see myself and observe my whole life so far, really. that was kind of like my paradigm break. That was me realizing, whoa, this is just one very finite element of my being that I've really focused and honed in on. Essentially put all eggs in one basket, as my mum would say. And it's funny because growing up through all the years, going through high school, thinking about what electives I wanted to choose in high school, thinking about what I wanted to study in college, you know, mum and dad would always tell me, I'm sure this is a common experience for everyone, but like, you know, don't put all your eggs in one basket. And I'm like, yeah, of course, like, makes sense, but I don't really hear it, you know what I mean? I don't really know it, I don't really understand it until just last year when I was going through that tough period in my life, and when I was, you know, really understanding that, whoa, who am I without this rock, without this basketball? And yeah, to just kind of realize now at this point where I'm at, kind of having all of this deep introspection and wanting to define myself outside of the game, and now being in a period of my life where I'm moving back into the game. I am back in the game. I'm a professional athlete right now, and that is just, maybe if you came to me a year ago when I was like, say, going through the dark night of the soul, like just going through a dark period in my life where things weren't crystal clear. Like I really didn't know where things were gonna go for me. I was just trying to work on myself and work on getting to a healthy place, you know, mentally, spiritually, emotionally, and physically, especially. And yeah, man, just knowing that this professional basketball player is just one identity that I can assume in this life. And now for me, it doesn't need to be that serious as being a basketballer. Like, I'm really just trying to treat this as a hobby right now, just what I'm doing. I'm sitting in front of a camera. I have no idea how to edit shit, so the editing's not going to be the best on this. It's going to be a longer form video. I'm literally just speaking out my thoughts, and I'm enjoying myself while I'm doing it. This is something I want to do, and maybe as I go on and further down the line, I kind of get more refined with my message, with my intention behind these videos. But as for now, I'm kind of just shooting the shit, and I'm trying to just kind of figure out what it is I'm doing here. Alright. Took me 15 minutes to get through the first point. Actually, the second point was kind of... Yeah, so... Actually, you know what? I've bunched together like 3 points in one. So point 2 and 3 was creative expression outside of basketball, my most creative expression. Basketball being my most creative expression. So what is fulfilling that? When say I get injured again, what fulfills that? Doing this. For me, doing this. What I'm going through in life, what life is dealing me in terms of experiences, perceived obstacles and struggles and hardships, and then how I'm observing the way that I'm navigating it, how I'm, what is triggering me, and what information am I choosing to feed myself, what thoughts am I choosing, what emotions am I wanting to cultivate. Point 3, becoming a better articulator of my experience. I feel like the act of doing this, and then the whole layer of caring what other people think by just posting it online, it's for sure character building. I think it's character building. This point right here, bridging the gap between knowing and doing. I think I said at the start of the video, I don't know, that was ages ago, but I think I said episode 2 might be called knowing versus doing, or knowing and doing. And basically I don't know, I feel like I've just been, in this past 2 months, this is the first time I've really sat down with somewhat of a blueprint for a video. And just like, I've really just had a burning desire in me today to just be like, just make a video, just make a video. It doesn't have to be perfect, mate. It doesn't have to be like, you know, all these guys that you subscribe to, or, you know, it doesn't have to be the shit that you see on Instagram, or it doesn't have to be perfect. It just needs to be you. It just needs to be, you know. And I just, again, excuses. I know in the past couple months I've absolutely, you know, quietly on a subconscious level been wishing for something to obstruct me from doing this, and I'd even invent reasons to not do this. So which is crazy, because, you know, the weight of I have a vision for myself to be someone that is like, to be a YouTuber, to be someone that is, you know, known and respected, and known and respected for the way that they can express themselves. Because I don't know, I think that's just, when I see content, when I see people that are able to really express themselves well, and put words to feelings that are hard to do, that's a hard thing to do, for sure. So I resonate with that. And that's something that I think maybe with time and consistency, I'd be able to get to a point where, you know, that's going to resonate with others. So I already feel it in my own social circles, the rooms that I'm in, people I talk to, that they kind of get a bit of value from our interactions. So I figure, why not, like, you know, this is the day and age we live in. If you have right, this is again going a bit on a little bit of a detour on another level, but it's kind of like, we live in a society where mindless consumption is just, we are all directions, we're all funneled towards consume. So this right here is a little bit of an act to get myself on the creating side, because we're creators. As humans, we're creators, and whether you realize it or not, whatever you're doing, you're creating. We're non-stop creating. We create our reality. So there's power in creation, because that's essentially what we're here to do. Whether that's creating a new perspective by changing something that, you know, led to, you know, you forming certain repetitive thoughts or beliefs about A, B, C, D, E, F, G. Wow, Ramble City. No, but in all seriousness, I don't want a good point to be missed here. When I say we are creators of our reality, I think it has a big part to do with our perceptions, our beliefs, and the narratives that we tell ourselves every day. So when I'm talking about creating reality differently, I'm also talking about, you know, what is the information we're choosing to continually relay to ourselves. If there is a part of our current situation in life that we're not necessarily enjoying or thriving through, then why is it that we continue to perpetuate these thought cycles and continue to, you know, subscribe to certain patterns of thinking that ultimately don't serve us? So anyways, okay, bridging the gap between knowing and doing. Yeah, so in the past, in this I want to say in the past, since I got to Japan, so let's say the last month, I've just been, you know, I finished reading The Mountain Is You by Brianna Wiest. I've started reading another book, The World is a Mirror. Forgot the author. And all the while, you know, there's plenty of useful information that I'm taking in every day. Like, you know, thinking about Huberman podcasts, Diary of a CEO podcasts. Just there's a lot. You can extract a lot of value from what's just in your feeds, if you just, instead of, you know, like you see something good and you want to, all right, embody and kind of live that out. Test it out in your own experience. All right, that's something mindful. Maybe I can put that into practice. And basically, knowing and doing. I feel like I've been in a place now where I've just been all the way in knowing. If you consider knowing and doing as a spectrum, you have knowing over here and doing over here. And, you know, duality, balance. I feel like I'm all the way over here. So what I'm doing right now is just trying to get myself back over to the middle with some doing. And I think about the saying, to know and not do is to not know at all. I'm not sure where that came from, ancient philosopher or whatnot. I've heard so many people say that before. But to know and to not do is to not know at all. You may as well, like, what good is this knowledge that you're accumulating if you're not embodying it, if you're not living it out, and if you're not using it to show up in the world as a better version of yourself, essentially. And for me, that's just, like, for me that needs to, I guess, take physical form. So right now, this video. But also, on a more subtle level, it's just the way I'm molding my own perceptions and the way that I'm thinking about myself and my situations, the way that I'm cultivating and building confidence in my abilities as a basketballer again, and just as someone that knows themselves, because there's a confidence and conviction in somebody that, like, knows themselves, in somebody that asks the deeper questions. And I'm just trying to, you know, put the pennies in the jar, like, and do that day by day. And look, for instance, like, I'm not perfect at all. I feel like I'm a walking contradiction. If anything, I think all humans are walking contradictions. It's just whether or not you're ignorant to the fact or you're really cognizant of it. I feel like I'm overly cognizant of it. So, you know, I have a day like yesterday. I had an off day. We just came back from a 3-day tournament in Kanazawa, and I had plans of doing something like this, but my body and my habitual self was like, nah. I just laid in bed and I scrolled a lot, and I turned the TV on. I watched basketball games, I watched videos, and I watched a couple movies, and I ordered Uber Eats twice. So I don't know, that's what I mean by we're walking contradictions. Again, bit of a ramble. I gotta stop saying that. So yeah. Knowing versus doing. How much knowing are you doing versus how much doing are you doing, you know? You got fuck around and you got find out. You know? How much are you fucking around and how much are you finding out? Because you can over-intellectualize this experience. And I think that's the source of a lot of our suffering as humans. But yeah. Right. And the final 2 points, they're kind of just about me, on a personal level. Yeah. Ties into everything I've been saying, but yeah. I want to use this channel as a space to make sense of my ongoing life experiences as a professional hooper living in Japan that's developing his values and belief systems. Got 2 sub-points under that. Taking it upon myself to introduce useful information, philosophies, schools of thought, then observing myself in everyday life and seeing just how well I'm embodying the knowledge I'm accumulating. And then yeah, on from that, having this YouTube channel, it adds a layer of accountability for me. Even though at the present moment this is just a hobby, I know I'm developing characteristics that are going to help me live my life from a place of efficiency, compassion, and gratitude. Efficiency, compassion, and gratitude. Efficiency, why be efficient? Because why not be efficient? I'm in the realm of high performance, so efficiency is very important. You know, I can't be going out and shooting 20 shots a game and making 4. I'd rather be out there, you know, shooting 10 and making 6, 8, or 10. And yeah, compassion, because compassion is a very important element, you know. That's the humanness of this experience, you know. If you're not able to be compassionate toward others, then you're definitely not being compassionate with yourself. And gratitude is the attitude. Yeah, the cliches, man, the cliches are cliches for a reason, but really I've been trying to, and I have been making the conscious effort to just wake up every day and take moments, take pauses throughout the day where I just remind myself it's a blessing to be alive, it's a blessing to be doing what I'm doing, it's a blessing to be in the position that I'm in, and not only that, it's a blessing that I've created this situation for myself, and it's a blessing that I've had the support that I've had, and it's a blessing that I haven't had the support that I thought I needed, but really what that was offering me was an environment to learn myself better. So yeah, I'm gonna cap it there. We're at 29 minutes, so you know, I said 20-30 minute episode. As we go on, I really want these to kind of have a bit of a better flow, and maybe I'm gonna get better at catching myself from rambling or like straying off or just spitballing on a point. I really want to, like I said, efficiency. So yeah,